Welcome to Soul Sync.
You literally just say, welcome to Soul Sync.
Soul Sync?
Yeah.
I'll forget that in 2 seconds.
Soul Sync.
Soul Sync.
We're syncing souls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and welcome to Soul Sync.
Mm-hmm.
You think I could I'm feeling a little high. How much do
I love this. Like, I swear, every time we record, I'm like, this is my motherfucking job.
Yeah. It's so fun recording these. Like, I swear, it's not any work at all for us. Like, we just talk about
You have to keep the dog on because I can't. Literally, I cannot.
Oh my god, I just love it. How she sits on her butt.
All right, ready? Let's go.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, say welcome to Soul Sync.
Welcome to Soul Sync. And this is our guest star today, Nala.
Already going to hurl over. My stomach is laughing so hard.
So Nala, we're going to be talking about getting over our fears. Can you tell us some of your fears, my dear?
I have Patty on every day. It's like, oh my god.
So, what are some of Nala's fears? Cats.
Thunderstorm.
You guys, yes. Firecrackers.
Well, she did just go through a drive across the country.
20 hours.
20 hours in the car. So good for you, Miss Nala.
I would say her biggest fear is her mommy leaving her tomorrow and being with friends for the weekend.
It's mommy's biggest fear. I don't think.
All right, call me out. That's fine.
Look at
I
her.
love it.
She's like, I'm paying no mind. Look at her.
She's like, I'm not looking at you. I'm not looking at you.
So fun.
I love it. So this week we have my mother on the podcast. We thought it would be just the perfect person to talk about getting over and facing your fears. Why, do you ask? Because she's got some.
Fuck yeah. And as you can see, Patty is one of the funniest people I have ever met. So we're taking this weekly therapy to a whole new level because Taylor and I always have like the best time. But this morning, oh my gosh, we've been laughing all morning. And it's just so healing.
Go on.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny because one of the podcasts we recorded, Michaela J was on, and she said that. And she was like, oh, go on. She's like, Sammy has this line that she says that I got from her. That's just so funny. And it stemmed all the way back to you. And I was like, that's funny because I stole that from my mom. So it's literally just something that's being passed around.
It's like the word egonculator.
What? Wait, hold on. I've never heard of the word egonculator. What is that?
Well, a lot of people have.
Oh, well, at this point, a lot of people have. What is it? You started your own word?
I started my own word. Wait, it's gone around. People know it.
What does it mean?
It's like a rumor. It's gotten around.
How funny. Let's see. I think I was about 23.
Oh, it started that long ago?
It did.
Jeez.
No, wait. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. Just wait. I don't know what it was. So I was working. Was I still in the bank? I was working. I just started working in the bank 25 years ago. Okay. That's
okay.
I wish I was 23. Maybe I was.
Was I? Well.
Wait. So anyway, you know the thing that takes the staple out of the paper?
Yeah.
Law thing.
So I called it an egonculator, and somebody goes, that's not a real word. I go, yeah, it is. One of my friend's father owns a hardware store, and that's what they're actually called. And she was like, oh, egonculator. So she started calling it that, and every person that worked there was like, what's that? Each person knew the word egonculator now and just believed it. right? So now, wait, I worked in that bank. Wait, I don't know how many banks. It was like 4 different banks where that word went along until I met somebody that called it an edonculator because she learned it from somebody I used to work with.
That is hilarious.
Oh my God.
How funny is that?
It came all the way back to you.
And it took
To
that
the
one
source.
person that Googling it. And they're like, that's not even a word. There's no such thing. I go, but I started my own word. And you're the first person that cracked the code.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Talk about facing your fears. Just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna create my own word.
Literally, I instantly thought of Phoebe from Friends with phalange. The left phalange is missing on the plane. So for any of our Friends fans on here, we'll know what
Are
we're
you not a
talking
Friends
about.
fan?
No, I've honestly never watched it. I just got into it. I don't know.
It's okay because Sammy is a New Girls fan, and
Oh,
that
fuck yeah.
got
Mhm.
me into it. And that
Any situation that tells me they're like, yeah, I'm living with 3 dudes or I'm living with 3 girls, I'm like, you're a new girl.
yeah.
I love that show.
That
by the way,
show.
too. Taylor got me into that.
Because
Very
Sammy
good.
got me into look how
Actually, because Tom got me into it. Like, Tom put us onto all the good shows and movies. Oh my God. He put me onto all my favorites like Kung Fu Panda, Moana. And now they're like, I watch them all the time.
Midnight Gospel.
Yes, Night Gospel. That was a good one too.
Okay, we're trailing off a little bit. This happens all the time though, which I love. Our tangents just they're tangenting.
They
Yeah.
could be tangenting.
So let's touch on Costa Rica. I was lucky enough that during my graduation from massage therapy school, I had my best friend and my mom come all the way down to Costa Rica to see me graduate and to just like live the little island life and see where I've been living for the last 4 years and what I've been 4 years, 4 months. I wish I was there for 4 years. And what I've been doing, and they came to my ceremony and we just had such a great time and it was like so amazing. So I'm forever thankful for that memory that I have. Oh wait, there's little Boomies coming in.
Oh, stop.
Boomy.
Isn't
I'm
he
sorry.
so cute?
Yeah. And we're such cat people, so like my ADHD is like a cat.
So cute.
Yo, he's been so snuggly lately. He's been like curling up at my head. He just wants to eat, so don't be fooled. But he'll be like curling up at my head and he'll like take his little paw. I wear like an eye mask and he'll be like,
Stop.
get it off. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, at 3 a.m.
Wake up and feed me. I don't blame him though. I'd be the same way.
Okay, so back to what you were saying.
Yeah, so I do realize that getting there and coming all the way to Costa Rica was just like a big thing for both of them to do. And especially like my mom has never been out of the country before. It wasn't your first time out of the country, was it, Sammy?
No, this was my third, I think, because I know I had gone Mexico was my first time. Oh, and then I went to the Dominican Republic in August, and then I went to Costa Rica in November. Yeah.
Okay, so it was your first time at Costa Rica, but first time for my mom out of the country, and I know planes are a little
Yes, I have a problem with fear with everything. I know. Well, a
That's
lot
not
of people
us.
don't like to fly. I'm not alone with that.
No, you're definitely
No,
not.
you're not alone at all.
Like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean,
You
so
Like, I definitely need to take something before I get on a plane, and I'm always afraid I'm gonna like wake up and no one's gonna be on the plane but me. Like they're gonna leave me on the plane. You know what I mean?
I love that's the fear, not the plane going down or crashing.
Well, of course that. And then like I watch these things. This is why I have fears. I realized the other day. Well, I've realized this all my life, but when I hear something or watch something on TV, and there was some show on it, it was saying how plane crashes and like big things like that are usually human error. Okay, so in my head, my whole life, I won't get on a bus unless I'm sitting behind a bus driver because I never met him and I don't know how he drives. Like, am I right? I'm right. I know. And I'm the only person that'll say it out loud. Everybody has to think this. Like, I don't understand how you're getting on a big, huge bus And this man that usually looks like he has an eye in the middle of his forehead is you're letting him drive you. And I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like, do you understand?
Totally.
So then in school, the kids were going on a class trip, and I'm like, I have to interview the bus driver first. You're taking my kids. Do you know what I did? Literally, I know. I interviewed him. There was a dent in the bus, and I'm like, did you do this? How much sleep did you have? Do you do drugs? What do you do? Like, where are you from? I don't know. You're driving my kids to New York. Why would anybody in their right mind just let their kid do that? So you know what I did? I followed the bus all the way to New York City. I did. I swear I did. I'm a nut. I know. The same thing as having, like, think about it. Isn't that common sense though? Did you ever not think of that before?
You
right?
crack me up. I've never heard that story.
Did you ever hear this one? Because it goes right with it. You know, like when you're paying somebody money to take a stranger to take your kid and teach them how to drive.
Oh.
Right? So here I go, like me of all people. You think my kid's gonna go on her driving lesson by herself? I went with her.
Wait, that's so cute. Were you sitting in the back or the front?
Back, and I was praying the whole time because this man put her on Route 4. I'm like, what are you, nuts? I'm like, are you out of your mind? I said nothing. I didn't say a word. I was just there to pray.
Yo, I'm kind of, oh shit. My water bottle. I'm surprised you didn't, because when it came to that cab driver in Costa Rica, the whole time she was doing it too. Like, we get off and she started asking him questions before we got in the car. And this man, he was driving crazy. So in your defense, he was a nut, but like,
I dug my nails into his arm. I was like, you need to stop or you're gonna get hurt.
he was driving so fast. And in Costa Rica, it's just like, you know, tons of like zigzags, and you're going up and you're going down and you're going this way. And the cars drive so close to each other. And he, like, I don't know how he didn't hit anyone. I will be so honest.
I think he was doing it more on purpose then, just to get me scared, because he knew how.
I think so too. And it sucks because we were staying with him and giving him our money.
But he was really funny, so I think it made up for it.
He was nice, but we
Yeah.
like something. I don't know.
Yeah, that in itself, I feel like maybe you face that fear for that reason. For, I don't know, like you have someone else has your life in their hands, you know?
Totally.
And it's kind of like, if you have no control over the situation, like how are you gonna act? Like you have the choice to be like,
Scratch him. Hurt him. Be heard. You got to know how I'm feeling, because you're gonna feel my fears or some kind of pain.
I'm done. Honestly, like I understand what you're saying though. Like, especially the child thing, like you're leaving your child with a stranger. Like that always made sense to me. I was always like, okay, like you don't know. And there are stories all the time on the news of like, you know, school buses or whatever that like get into really bad car accidents, and you know, the bus driver was drunk or whatever. And it's like, human error is right. Like we're all human. Like people can be doing whatever they do, and then they're supposed to be looking after our kids. Like I totally understand that. And when it's yourself and your own safety too, and the plane makes sense, but for whatever reason I was always fine in planes because I'm like, oh, what are the odds of that, you know? Like,
See, I just don't motherfucking think of it. Like when you told me, Patty, that you've been scrolling and looking at all this shit, like I refuse. Oh my God. Like I will just not even, like if anything negative comes up on my feed, I'm just like scroll, scroll, like, you know, or I'll like turn off the app.
Another way to handle it, and you're handling it the right way, because you don't want. No, that is the right way to be. I see something happen to somebody else and I go, oh my God, that's going to happen to me.
Oh, my mom's the same way. Oh my God. It's like, well, I can't do this because this happened to this person, so it could happen to me. And I'm like,
if
what?
it could happen, all right, but I'm working on that. That I've come a really long way with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, this is what I would think, right? Because they say that we come here to learn lessons, right? And I do believe that we can learn lessons through other people. So you could all like when I think about these things, I'm like, well, if it happened to them, why would it happen to you? Right? Like, for example, we had a family friend whose house lit on fire. So my mom was always super paranoid about the washer and dryer. Like they could not be on if we weren't at the house. And because she learned that lesson, I don't agree with paranoia because take it from me, I'm working through that too. It's really stressful and I don't think it serves us at all. But we know just not to have the dryer on when you're not home, right? Like you learn that lesson. So you're able to kind of like do what you need to do in order to like avoid it and solve it. And you don't need to like learn it the same way that they did.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Is it like a generational thing?
Well,
Or I don't know.
What?
every family is brought up differently, and
Mhm.
each mom and dad have their own experiences that they have. So
Yes.
you
And then
guys,
they probably like put it onto you because I know like I've been talking to my stepdad a lot about like my own paranoias and fears because living alone, like I've had so many of like, oh my God, like is someone gonna try to go through the window? Like yesterday, I checked my like windows and doors one time and I was like, okay, I checked them. Do not check them again. But I'll be honest, there were some nights that I was checking them like 8 times throughout the night, being like, are they all closed? Are they all closed? And I told my stepdad, I was like, I'm wasting so much stress and energy feeling so paranoid. But it's just like you said, like kind of generationally, things have come down. So it's like my grandpa taught my mom taught me, or like my grandma taught my grandpa, like it's trickled down through people, I think, through experiences. And then it's all about, like you said, how you handle it. So that's why I avoid. I'm an avoider. I'm like, don't even tell me. I don't want to know.
that's better. That's when I hear something negative or somebody talking negative, I'm done. Like goodbye, because I know it's going to lower my vibration and I just need to be positive.
Yeah.
Girl, I feel you.
And that's just like the news. Like they say, like when you watch the news religiously, like it's kind of meant to keep you paranoid. And they show just like the worst things, the worst case scenarios, like how much terrible stuff is happening simultaneously around the world. And it's like, how much of that can you consume until you're just like so frazzled by it and thinking all of these thoughts? Because it really is a perspective thing. It's like, it's either what are the odds that's going to happen to me, or what are the odds that that will definitely happen to me. You know what I mean? So like the airplane thing, it's like, you've watched enough or like looked into it enough of that, like planes go down. So your mind is more geared towards that happening or like preparing for that to happen, I guess.
No, you know what my thing is? I'm so sorry.
She said, yeah, no, you're wrong. But you know what my thing is?
I understand what you're saying. I still don't understand how it stays in the air, and it blows my mind. And I feel like it's just not normal. It's not a natural thing to me. So I'm afraid it's going to plunge to the ground. Yeah.
It's all your perspective. It's all
Right.
whatever you ideologize. Ideologize. See, we're making up our own words. Egonculator, look out.
We'll have our own dictionary in 20 more years.
Yeah, seriously. It'll be a soul sync dictionary.
Oh my God. Between our like dyslexia and shit, I'm not.
Oh my God.
Of like, I call it word dyslexia because sometimes I will be so certain I'm saying the right word and it'll just be completely like opposite of what I was trying to say. And I'm like, where did that even come from?
Girl, I have Taylorisms to spare for you if you want.
You want to hear some Taylorisms?
That'll be the next podcast. That'll be the next podcast.
It's right on the tip of my lung.
Well, that's
Does
just
she
like
not
cute.
even know? Does she know that?
I don't know. I don't know. I said it's right on the tip of my lung instead of the tip of my tongue because I thought that's what it was.
Oh, that's so cute.
So that's what it is now.
Okay, what was I saying the other day? I think I was like, Oh, what is the metaphor now? I can't think of. Like, I was talking about the pets, and I was like, yeah, they're healthy as a horse or something like that. And Thomas like corrected me, and he was like, it's healthy as a blank and happy as a blank. I thought I was saying it so right, and he was like laughing at me, being like,
Oh, what was it?
you are so off.
Wait, I don't know what the
I don't
correct one
either. What
is.
is it? Happy as a horse.
Oh, it's happy as a clam, healthy as a horse.
Oh,
clam.
yeah. But isn't something a horse like healthy as a horse?
healthy
or
I
as a-
thought so too. Maybe I said they're healthy as clams then. I don't know.
That would be funny. You're as healthy as a
You're
clam.
as healthy as a clam in my clam chowder soup.
So why is the clam healthy? Why are they?
I know. I don't know. I don't even know. Like the clam is like a seashell, right? And then there's like a little thingy. I don't even know. I've never seen a clam.
I never met one
I love-
myself. Who's the clam on SpongeBob? Do they have a clam?
They have a clam, but I don't think there's like a name to them.
well.
I see. This is definitely my mother because she just brought up SpongeBob.
Sorry.
No, don't
No,
apologize.
we could totally break this into like two parts, and we could have the one part of like what is the dumbass shit that we talk about, and then part two will be Costa Rica. We're gonna get there eventually.
Yeah, it's gonna literally be part one, part two.
Sorry.
But no,
think
we can reel it back to the paranoia and like what you consume, you know, what information you consume and decide is going to happen for you and decide that it's totally possible. You know, like whatever you resonate with in that way is kind of like the idea that you imprint in your head. So for
Absolutely.
you,
Yeah.
it's the windows and checking them because of that experience. And I feel like for my mom, it's like the motorcycle thing too. And that was passed on to me. And now I am super no for motorcycles, but for within reason. Like you have a good reason. Like
So why is it something that I put onto you? If you think
It's-
death is a great thing, then go ahead and ride on a motorcycle.
Girl, it's just like a.
it's not. But I'm saying like
It's a dangerous
some
thing to do.
people and some families like or whoever like love motorcycles, you know, and they like pass that on and then like their kids will ride motorcycles and it'll be such a good thing in their family because of how fun
And
it
then
is.
somebody always dies on one of them.
Yeah, no, and
they
that's
loved it their whole
beside
life.
and
Right.
that's
So-
beside the point because they do it despite the fact of that and we look at it in such a different light in spite of the fact that you can die on it.
Right,
You know what I
did
mean?
Did you ever almost hit somebody on a motorcycle?
No.
Did they ever scare you when they went by you and you didn't know that they were right there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so
for sure.
so you okay.
But I don't think it's the motorcycle. It's like the fucking people driving it, you know? Like, I think that's where Taylor's going with it too. Cause like when it comes to the one speeding past you, that's all their responsibility. Like if they get hit, it's gotta be on them because it's like I've had so many times that happen, but if it's something where it's just like an actual like accidental accident, then I understand where you're coming from of like they're scary and can be dangerous.
I just don't trust anybody on the road, and I just feel like you're going to get hurt if you have an accident on a motorcycle.
Well,
You're-
haven't you had any
you're-
accidents, Patty?
What?
You've had like 3 accidents too, right? In your life?
And I was hit by a drunk driver all 3
Oh,
times.
never mind.
I know. I was told about this. So that makes sense too of the like paranoia and that you think that way. Like it's been people who were not conscious that hurt you multiple times.
Yeah.
So now, if I didn't say to my daughter, hey, it's dangerous for a motorcycle to be on a motorcycle, or if I said, hey, you should find a guy that has a motorcycle and drives like a freaking maniac. You know what I mean? Or whatever. I don't trust people driving. In my household, I was the driver, right? When we went on vacations, John didn't drive. I did. I had to be in control. I'm in control. Am I right?
No, you're 100% right. But
I trust myself. I trust nobody else but me when it comes to a vehicle and my transportation. And yes, I will sit if I have to be on a bus. It is behind the bus driver, and he cannot stand me by the time we get to our destination.
he's looking to crash the car. he's trying
He's trying to
get
kill everybody,
He's
right?
looking for the nearest bridge.
Well, I'm just saying. To me, it's not a normal thing. Even as a child, I didn't think it was normal that this guy who's riding the train and driving this train, like we don't even meet him. How do I know who he is? What, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
totally
who's
do.
driving me? I need to know who's driving me.
No, I
That's
totally understand. And I feel like it all stems from a trust thing.
Yeah.
So because of the experience that
I know what it is.
experiences what?
I just figured out what it is.
What?
Oh shit, breakthrough.
What?
It was my
Okay.
Oh.
he would do to me when we were gonna make a left-hand turn and a car was like flying. He would go real slow, and thought it was the funniest thing that he scared the shit out of me.
Oh, he did it purposefully.
Yo, you're so right. It does stem from that. And like it's crazy because I've been listening to
It's just
this podcaster that goes back to inner child things, and you'd be surprised like what paranoias, fears, limiting beliefs are from things that happen from ages like 3 to 7, right? And we just don't really remember. So you could have just cracked your own egg.
Yeah.
I did. I cracked my
I
own egg.
like that one.
I don't know where that came from, but
Add it to the soul
to the
sync.
dictionary.
Yeah. You just cracked your own egg, girl. Wait, that makes so much sense. And I feel like it is like an inner child type of thing because we do carry the paranoias throughout life. And that's why like hypnotherapy, you know, people go for certain things because when they get like out of hand and they start affecting your day-to-day life, I feel like though all yours are within reason though. Like those are fine.
My fears only bother her.
Yeah.
Not me. They don't bother me. She's saying to me, Mom, you really should go talk to a therapist. She's like, you have so many fears. And I go, you know what's funny about that? They don't bother me. They bother you. So you go to therapy to deal with my fears because they're not bothering me. I don't complain about whatever. I just don't go on the plane, or I won't go on a bus, or you know what I mean? Like,
you don't feel like that's not like sheltering you from living your best life? Because you had so much motherfucking fun in Costa Rica. Like, we still have to piggyback to like Costa Rica and actually talk about this shit. But like, you had so much fun, Patty. You literally looked like you were glowing. You looked like a kid. You were exploring. So like, even us going to Italy, that's on all 3 of us bucket lists that we're gonna do together. Like, you, this fear is holding you back a little bit. You know?
I think that's a great point. And like, would you have left the country and like kind of had that push if it wasn't such an important thing to you, like my graduation?
No.
Yeah.
And no, it could have been you. Taylor can make me do anything. I got this tattoo because of Taylor. Like only she could make me do stuff.
And they end up being such great things.
Absolutely.
So I guess it's in that way can be limiting you from experiencing things that are worth it.
You're a better version of me.
Aww.
She reminds me exactly of myself at her age, but she's a much better version.
Well, then learn from her. You still have so much time to be the best version of you too, which means, like we did in Costa Rica, facing your fears.
I enjoy her being better than me because she's the one. Go ahead, honey, you do it.
You try it out, see how it works.
She's my mother.
You let me know how it goes, and then maybe I'll do
Tell me how that feels. Yeah, go ahead.
But it's funny because, like, growing up, I always kind of felt that more paranoid energy from you, and that's how I learned to
not.
Yeah, like to kind of test those boundaries and to test those ideologies and be like, well, what would happen? Like, let me see. Like, even the China thing, like going to China as a sophomore in high school, like, I saw it as an opportunity to like, it's more exciting and more something rather than fearful. So, like, that was more like the dominant thought over the fear, where I feel like for my mom it was like flip-flopped. Like, there's so much fear. Like, China is, I mean, for any mom, like, that's obviously going to be like the first thought. So I didn't hold that against you in that way, but I was like,
she's missing the entire picture of
what?
I love this. I keep going. Go on.
What? Okay, I get it. China is scary to go
Taylor,
alone.
China.
And to
Just
trust.
say those 2 words. Let's put Taylor in China.
But that's, again,
I would be totally fine in Hong Kong.
I wouldn't let Taylor cross the street. It's on a dead end, okay? Am I right?
No, you're correct.
All right, she was in a bit of a bubble. So now she wants
I
to go
loved
away.
my bubble though.
She wants to go to China. Okay.
You let her though. That's huge.
Thank you. And that is the big picture that and I've told her this. Me would be like, absolutely not. Not my kids are going to Taylor, China. Huh. Yeah, right. So it was like, okay, Taylor wants to go to China. I have to let her do this.
Yeah.
To her, and this is a lifetime opportunity.
100%.
So I say yes before even telling John. I didn't ask. I didn't anything.
What?
Going to China. He's like, what? And I'm like, trust me, we have to let her do this. I will pray to God, she'll be fine. Well, whatever. I gotta pray. That's all I do.
She had the best time of her fucking life. She talks about China all the time. She literally got one of our tattoos together because of that experience.
Right. So most of my friends have said to me, when I told them she was going, they were like, I would never let my kid go. I didn't listen to anybody. I did it for myself. That's what I'm saying.
That's really important. Like, we need to do that all the time, and for ourselves as well. I think that's where we're going with this too, Patty. We're getting sidetracked on Taylor. We're talking about you.
But I'm saying, she was saying where she got the fears from and all, but I actually let you go where I had every right to say absolutely not. My Taylor, who can't cross the street and trips over a leaf, I cannot let her go to China. Wait, by the way, where there's no right, we couldn't get in touch with her at all. Yeah. There was no communication other than email. That was a lot for me.
Wait, how long were you there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. And it was through the school program, so it was like all people that all
by herself. She didn't know anybody.
Oh. That's really cool. That's so cool. I mean, you know what, Patty, but I give you credit because the first time I told my family that I was going to the Dominican Republic with Michaela, my stepdad was like, what? Like, he was like, you're going with a stranger you've never met and you're meeting strangers like who's attending that you've never met. Like, they were so scared for me. So I totally understand that fear.
Yeah, I feel like in a way by us doing that and them having like no choice but to trust or to choose to trust in it, it's also teaching you a lot.
Yeah.
And that, like a lot.
And that's why I am the way I am with you, because whatever she wants, what did I always say to you? I trust you. I trust her opinion. I trust what she's doing is going to be the right thing. I also, and as a parent, know, like high school, whatever, she's going to come home drunk, she's going to smoke. I was waiting for those things. You know what I mean? There's certain things that are normal you're going to do, whatever.
Yeah.
But how do we get back onto this? Did we totally, where are we?
But that's how we learn.
Right.
Like, genuinely. So it's kind of like a piggyback thing, like even mother to daughter or like best friend to best friend. It's like, if it is a trusting thing, like you're putting your full trust into that person. And then maybe through those experiences, you're remolding that kind of perspective and thought on those experiences. So for you guys and leaving the country yourself, like I'm sure you have such a different outlook on leaving the country now and kind of like going through that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, especially being with Sammy, like she is a traveler. So like you were in such good hands and it was such a great energy in Costa Rica and it was safe. It is such a safe country, so it's a lot safer than the United States, which it's easy to tie other foreign countries with like being unsafe because you just don't know the culture. You don't know the places, like whatever. But I think it's important to like keep an open mind in all situations and all new experiences. And instead of like looking at them as like fear and like scary and whatever, something is unknown. I understand, like I totally get all of your things are like validated, like what you're afraid of.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying, like in the bigger picture of things, like I am very proud of you for facing your fears to see me graduate. And that it meant a lot to me. And to have both of you there was literally like the best thing ever. Aww, and just like a memory I'm gonna always carry with me throughout my whole life. And it made the whole experience worth it. So thank you for facing your fears. on my
Very
account.
welcome. Very welcome. I was looking
Oh,
through.
good.
Did you ever look through your pictures from Costa Rica?
Totally.
I really do. Yeah, Costa Rica was just so amazing. Like for me, like I just felt so free there, you know? And I remember there was one time where I was talking about something. I remember this, Patty, and you were like, Sammy, the more you're talking about it, the more you're not letting it unrail. So think about something else and it's gonna happen. Do you remember that, Taylor? But I got a record-breaking month when I got home from that. Like, so it's just like so much good came out of
Yeah.
Rica. And like I remember even when I was like on the horses, like Patty, you were the one that was like, you should go ride that horse. Like you should go. And then I did it twice and it was like the most magical experience because here in the United States, like there's not that many places that you can ride a horse on the beach with the beautiful views and like gallop and actually have that freedom. And it was just the best experience. And like watching you with your fears really helped me with my fears too because I was like, I remember when we were coming home and you even opened up the window, and you were like, I'm sorry, I've never before. It was so cute.
Sorry, your audio cut out a little bit, but she was saying the plane ride. You looked out the window and you're like, I'm looking out the window.
Yeah.
What came to my mind was like the bugs and the animals free roaming and the heat. Like all those three things I know my mom does not like. So the bugs in itself, like in Costa Rica, there's a lot and they can be pretty big.
The fact that the lizards could get inside on the wall, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. And then
Oh my God.
when we walked in, there was a big one right on the wall, and I was all.
I like literally like had all my luggage completely closed off because I'm with you on the bugs, Patty. Like, ooh, living here in Austin, I don't even want to talk about the bugs. I cannot wait for Tom to be here so that he could get them out because I'm tired of facing that fear.
Are they bigger?
Everything is bigger in Texas, but yes, they are much bigger here.
So it's true what they say.
Oh my gosh, everyone tells me that. Whenever I talk about anything, they're like, everything is bigger in Texas. But yeah, they're quite big. Like there's some bugs that are like this big. There was a cricket that got in here and he came in with a maintenance guy and I made the maintenance guy take him out. I was like, Michael, out for me. I was like, you brought him in. You were looking. I was like, take him out. And he did, thank goodness. But this thing was like this big and the crickets here fly. So yeah.
Can I tell you something about Costa Rica and the bugs?
What?
After the whole week of being around all those animals, the monkeys, the horses, the dogs, the cats, and every animal and every insect you can imagine, you and I get to the airport to leave. And there was the biggest cricket on the ground. Do you remember? That is the only bug I can remember right now.
Really?
That freaked me out. That was the worst bug in the airport. It was a cricket. It was the size of a phone.
I remember you losing your phone and leaving it in the bathroom.
Do you remember that? Oh, I forgot all about that. God.
Yes. Your mom literally left the phone in the bathroom and she was like, oh my God, I left my phone. I don't know where my phone is.
Remember, I had to go all the way back down. Oh.
At least we found it. That lady found it right away.
Really nice.
You guys had
And the good news was you found $20 on the floor.
really?
In the airport, yeah.
I don't remember that.
What? We were just about to get on the escalator and you were like, wait. And you like went to the ground and you picked up a 20 and you were like, I found $20.
Okay,
I
that's a
remember
win. You
that,
found a
yeah.
cricket, but you also found
Found
$20.
$20.
So
Lost the phone and found it.
exactly. So it just sounds
Losing
like
and finding.
you guys had so many experiences,
Oh my God.
breakthroughs.
In that airport on the way, we slept in the airport overnight.
That was awful. Taylor, I love you so much. That was like one of the worst experiences ever. I felt so she would not leave me. And I was grateful because that airport, it wasn't a vibe.
It was like, I'm not leaving you in Newark Airport. Like, no way. No
Yeah.
way.
I know. And we literally slept on the chairs. Like they didn't have
Like making friends, remember? We had like a pile of people walking around with us. Like we had our own group. We at our airport.
We were attracting all these people that also had long layovers. There was like this one that like just came from his country and didn't really speak English. So this other girl was like translating and she was like, I'll be right back. I have to go help him. And she like walked and helped him. She walked and came back. Like it was so funny. But you know what? Ever since I met her for long layovers, I bring a pillow now.
Smart.
There
See?
you go.
She taught you something too. See?
Oh, 100%. You remember she had a pillow and a blanket. She was like, I do this a lot.
She was alone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She came.
Yeah, she was from Montreal.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
she was a nice girl.
Yeah. So,
You're outside your comfort zone. You learn so much.
oh my God, yeah. And we were, it was so funny because she was like, I'm just gonna hang out with you guys. We were like, well, we don't know what the fuck we're doing, but okay.
Remember, we were all sleeping together. We found a little corner. Everyone's like laying on their luggage. Or
That is so funny. You had your own little posse by the end.
Oh my gosh. I was so tired. I slept like the whole next day because I didn't even sleep on the way home. I was like doing a ton of like trainings and preparation, which is honestly how I got the record breaking month. So I'm really like happy I did that. But I pulled basically an all-nighter. I don't think I got any sleep that night.
Lord.
Yeah, it was.
Ever.
I know. Oh my God. And we didn't even have any weed to help us out.
I could picture you guys fiending at the Newark airport. Be like, you got some stuff on you? Asking like the TSA agents, did you guys escape anything lately?
Oh my, yo, that would be hilarious. Can you imagine being like, yeah, what do you need?
Yeah, I got you.
So funny.
Oh, we didn't even think about it. I don't know. I feel like I'd be too scared.
Face your fears, queen. That's what we're talking about today.
Wrong fear, wrong fear. All right, Patty, what was another one of your fears that you overcame in Costa Rica?
I saw a video of me walking in the rainforest by myself, and I said it on the thing, talking to myself. I was like, okay, so here I am, facing a fear in the rainforest by myself in Costa Rica. On my way to get a massage. So you went for your massage first, and Taylor was obviously giving the massages, so she was there. And then I had to leave 2 hours later on my own. So here I am walking down the thing, and I'm like on my own for the first time. I'm like, and I don't know what's up there in the trees, but I do hear something, but I'm okay. I was walk myself through it. Wait, that night it was dark out, and I don't know what we were doing, but I left by myself. Do you remember what we were doing? Where I would leave at night and walk up that windy road by myself, where I don't know why you would even think that that was okay, but but I did it.
Why?
And I was walking back through and I go, here I am in the rainforest with nothing but the light of my phone. I can hear bears.
You were there, bitch. You were not alone. I remember that.
Were you with me?
Yeah.
I was by myself.
I don't think so.
Why would I be alone is what I was thinking in that.
I don't think you were alone, babe. Like I remember that. Because I had my phone on too.
Maybe we did it together.
I think
We did it alone together.
I think I kind of remember being like, all right, we weren't afraid in the daytime. We're not going to be afraid at night. And I was like, I have totally come so far in life because I would never do this.
It was so hard too because that windy road, like, first of all, it's the main road, right? And second of all, they have no street lights. So, like, we were in the pitch motherfucking black. Like, I don't know. I was feeling that way too. I remember. And we did it a couple times. And also that hill, oh my gosh, like, talk about a workout.
Heat going up and down that and the other hill just to get to the place. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh, I know. Taylor, you had to be in the best shape of your life.
I actually was like my method of transportation was the bike that the school gave me, and I was living in off-campus housing, which was like a 15 to 20-minute bike ride away from school, like class every day, and the roads are so rough, like crazy, and the hills and everything. So my legs, like by the end of the 4 month, and mind you, like you're eating clean the whole time. You know, it's like fresh fruits and vegetables every day and a ton of water to hydrate because it's so hot and you're just sweating. And the bike ride on top of it, oh my God, I was in the
You
best
were in
shape
the
of my
best
life.
shape
But I
ever.
do remember that hill that you guys lived on or stayed at. And when I tried biking up that hill, I literally almost passed out.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
that.
I busted in the door and I was like, I need to sit down. I was like,
Water.
screw the graduation. I don't care if I'm late. I need to sit down and breathe. Oh my God, my makeup just sweated off completely. I was like, oh, I don't care. I just curled my hair for nothing.
So beautiful.
But yeah, no, I do remember that walking through that little forest area. If you did that alone, then
I did it alone. That
even if
was
it was
huge
during
for
the
me.
daytime, yeah, like that, that's a fear
I would
face.
say just being afraid of, being out in nature and not being attacked by some animal.
Mhm.
Like I don't do that. And I did it, and I was like talking to them while I was doing it. Like I knew I was doing it and I was giving myself up. Like, okay.
Yeah. Well, they were so cute. I know that you said aren't the monkeys like they can be a little aggressive, like if you get like too close or whatever, but they were so cute. And at least they were tiny, right? Like at least they weren't huge like gorillas.
Maybe in the morning, right? The howling.
The howlers, yeah,
Oh.
the way they made
That
was
was
so
scary.
weird.
Yeah.
That would wake me up every morning along with the roosters. It's just a wild place, but it is a lot of, you have to trust in the animals too. There are free roaming animals
Yeah,
all
everywhere.
over the place. And I can't tell you how many times I would ride my bike like pitch black, midnight, past midnight by myself, go from like Ava's house to mine, and you see dogs. Like you're riding alongside stray dogs, stray cats, chickens, the
Horses.
lizards, horses, cows, and it's such a wild feeling. Like, and there was a lot of trust, and like obviously they say when you're here, like don't walk the streets alone. I was always taught that, like you don't know, like you can get kidnapped and stuff like that, and people are crazy. But in Costa Rica, like I just had some sort of like trust in that way for some reason. But with the animals too, like you really have to just, I don't know, just
I felt the
trust that
same
they're gonna
way.
be.
You said that to me. You said no, that they don't bite you. They're good with humans. They're good
Yeah.
with people. So I just trusted her
Well, I
word.
think it's because like don't they like take care of them? Or maybe this was actually in Bali. I think this was actually in Bali. But in Bali, like they feed the stray animals. Like a lot of the like vendors, a lot of the stores, like people will like feed the stray ones. So I felt like maybe that was kind of a thing in Costa Rica.
Yeah, so for Costa Rica, a lot of the stray animals were also people's animals. Like they were all wild, indoor, outdoor, like they didn't care where they went. They came home to their owners, like type thing, which I thought was so cool. So a
Um,
lot of them had collars on. But the ones that didn't, like they just say the animals coexist so beautifully with the people there because that's how the people taught the animals, like
yeah.
it's okay, like we share this space, like whatever, even the horses and the cows. And it was just, I don't
That's
know.
amazing.
It
Isn't it
is.
amazing? Can you imagine being here and walking around with dogs and cats all over the place and that being
That'd be a
okay?
dream, honestly. I would
Well,
love
I
that.
think like what it is here, like, in Costa Rica, there's so much land and there's so much just to like explore and do. And here, everyone says it. Like when we lived in South Carolina, they said it. Here in Austin, they say it. They're like, if there's an open spot of land, somebody is buying it and building something. So we just have so much development that I feel like we miss that magic in the US. And that's why, like, I've talked to Tom multiple times of how like I want to live in another country. Like especially just running my own business, like it would suck because I'd miss my friends and like stuff like that. But I would love to experience living in another country where I get to be in that environment a little bit more, like even if it's for like 6 months, stuff like that. But that's definitely a goal of mine.
Girl, same. Costa Rica.
Did you know Costa Rica was the only country that did not build up when let people come in and build? That's why they have more than 75% of Costa Rica is all natural.
Love it.
They're the only country.
Pura
That's
vida.
why it's like that. Yeah, that's why it's so
Pure
beautiful.
life.
And you see all those animals. Because if they were letting people come in there and build hotels and stuff, they could have a lot of nice hotels there that they didn't. You know,
Yeah.
you're living like they're living. You're getting the whole feel of Costa Rica, you know.
Well, especially with the energy too. Like I feel like with Costa Rica, it was like the perfect place for us to like face our fears. And like for me, I was doing so much like shadow and like deep internal work when I was there, like especially just about like my childhood and things that were popping up, especially being around you too, because I feel like I feel so safe to do that. And I just feel like the energy there is just so beautiful and pure, you know? Like everyone is just so kind, so happy, and I really do believe it's like a spiritual place. Like just like Bali, like I feel like that is one of the most spiritual places in the world. So I'm grateful I went like 4 months later there. But I definitely felt like a huge spiritual connection to the lands and culture and just like overall energy of Costa Rica.
Yes. Oh my God. And so many people said the same thing, that they felt that with that area that we were in. It's just like magical. And it's just kind of like, you're right, like in its purest form. Like this is pure living, like before all this crap.
Right.
It's like, okay, back to the roots. Like,
And you have everything that you need, you know, like you have a beautiful place to stay, like there's grocery stores. Like I think about how different like my life would be, like you don't have a car but you have a bike and you bike around everywhere. Like it's just beautiful, but you really do have everything you need to live a happy, healthy life.
yeah, totally. And it does kind of teach you that trust in a way. Like you get more like, I don't know, like hope for humanity, because you're literally just like, okay, the people are all so nice. Like everyone, even if you can't understand half of what they're saying because the language barrier, like they're still all smiling. They're all very welcoming. The animals are nice. Like it's just like
Yeah, yeah.
you kind of like regain that hope in people again, and
Yeah.
in the world, and in everything. And when you come to like the hustle bustle of like New York City, it's like, or Jersey, it's the complete opposite. It's like everyone's strung out, no one trusts anyone, and
Everybody's
that,
honking.
yeah, and that energy really just spreads like throughout the whole area. So it makes so much sense that when we went there and we stayed there, you feel like safe and you feel that comfort, and like you kind of almost have to reprogram your brain of like, okay, I can kind of breathe, I can kind of relax here, like this is a totally different energy about this place. So yeah, I think that was really beneficial for all of us to see that that's even out there in the world.
I totally agree. I mean, I felt that way like even just going from Connecticut to South Carolina, like I would kind of feel that way too, where I was just like, it was so hustle and bustle in Connecticut, and everyone was always so stressed out and so miserable. And then you go to South Carolina and like people are saying hi to you on the street, and it's like, why are they saying hi to me? Like, like it took me like a minute to adjust. And then I moved here to Austin, and it's like that times 10. Like everybody here is so nice. They acknowledge you, they say hi. And of course, then at first living alone, I'd be like, why are they saying hi to me? Like, what do they want? But I think it just teaches you that, like Taylor said, there is hope in humanity. And just because one area is one way doesn't mean you have to stay there, and like doesn't mean you have to live that way either. Like you can still live there but choose to be someone that like smiles and talks. Like I remember in Connecticut I used to go on hikes and like always try to say hi to people, and I would feel really uncomfortable doing that. Be like, if I was with people, they'd be like, you always say hi, and I'm like, well, we're walking by them, I want to acknowledge them. Like I think that's respectful, you know. But some of my friends would think that it was just like really weird. And they were like, why are you like doing that?
Totally. Yeah, sometimes it can be tough being that only light. Like you feel like the only person like
But if you're
shedding that
walking
light.
past people in a where in the woods, like on a trail or something, of course you would say hi. It's not like passing somebody in the aisle of a food store. Then you'd be a weirdo if you were like, hello, hello, hello. Everybody be like, uh-oh, she needs a
Okay,
friend.
I feel like if you make eye contact with somebody, you should at least smile or say hi. Like at that point, you've made eye contact, like acknowledge that they're a human being. So I am that person in the grocery store that will say hi. I'm not like hi, 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 but if I run into someone or I'm waiting for something, like I will be nice and acknowledge them. And I think that's really like all the difference is, you know, like yesterday, for example, I was coming off the highway, and I have South Carolina plates, so I'm like, look, I don't know where I'm going. I get a little lost sometimes, and I was in the wrong lane, so all of these cars are like parked up. There was nowhere for me to go. So I was like, okay, fuck it. Like, I'm going to go in the lane that I need to go in. We're all waiting for this red light anyway. Well, this is a really bad example because Austin people are really nice, but this guy was honking so hard on his horn at me the entire time. And then after I finally got to go and he got to go, he was honking even like more, like holding it down while he was driving by. And I just laughed and I was like, why do you got to be that way? You know, like, and I just laughed it off and I was just like, all right, that's like a you problem. I'm not going to worry about it.
Good attitude to have.
Yeah, that is good. You choose what energy to entertain, you know, and that's what they say. Like we talked about in another podcast was like you either absorb that energy, reflect it back at them, or you transmute it. So you totally were like, I'm not even engaging. I'm not even letting that like disrupt anything in me. So good for you. Because I know that firsthand living in New Jersey that is not easy to do. But I do it too. So good for us. So the moral of the story, do something outside of your comfort zone. And maybe that's everyone's homework.
Yeah.
Maybe like you think going to a foreign country or something is no, because I'm not going to say that because that could we're going to scratch that out. If you're going to Russia, yeah, you should probably be on like high alert.
Yeah. I love how you look directly at Patty and be like,
high alert.
Same, right?
oh my goodness.
So a good way to end this is we could all just say like what our favorite part of the Costa Rica trip was. I could say for me, obviously, it was you guys just being there and like showing up. And like my graduation, like that dinner and that whole night was like easily my favorite night of my life. So yeah.
I felt the same way. I think being there, watching you graduate from there and have made so many friends, and it was just the whole experience. So riding on the golf cart was the best part for me.
You trusted me on that golf
was
cart.
Another trust issue. Me trusting her to drive. Okay, so here she's driving the especially a golf cart. She did such a great job. I was so
She did, and she was so sweet. She even surprised us with it because we were walking for a couple days. She was like, "Okay, guys."
yeah, that was so nice. That was very nice to see.
Oh my god, of course. It was way too hot there and we had to walk to way too many places. Like I wanted you guys to see everything, you know, like the whole town. So it was cool to even leave town. I don't know if you remember, we went, oh, I'm not gonna remember the name. Yeah, but it was like the windy roads, and I was like, that's the school that we volunteered at, and then you got to see like the foresty area. Yeah. So that was really, really like special that we
a video of that.
Yeah, really special we got to do that. I almost forgot about the golf cart. You trusted me with your life on the windy roads
with the big holes in it.
Yeah. The windy Costa Rica roads on a golf cart.
Pouring rain.
Yeah, that was fun.
With the windshield.
That was fun. Oh my god, I do think the rain part was just so clearing. It would just literally break out, just start raining, like out of the blue.
Yeah, I love that. What about you, Sammy? Do you have a favorite part?
Oh my gosh. Well, I totally agree with you guys. Like, it was so nice, Taylor, like seeing like all the friends that you made and like even the school, getting the massage. Oh my God, it had to be like top 5. Like, you did such a good job. And I like needed a massage so bad being a strength coach. So I feel like I feel like I just felt so free on the horses though. I don't know what it is about that experience, but like it just felt so amazing for me. But if I had a favorite, I feel like it's always just talking to you guys. Like I remember like the late nights, like we would be outside and we would be schmurring a little bit and like we would just be talking about life. And like I swear, just like this podcast where we derail and we have ADHD and we laugh our little tushies off, like that is always the best vibration that I can like be in when I'm with you guys. So I just feel like that in itself is something I always remember where I'm like, okay, who are the people that make me feel like the happiest and like just laughing, being high vibration? It's always you two. And like we're always doing some like dumb shit. Like riding a golf cart or, you know, exploring windy roads, but it's always the best time.
I love
I
that,
love that
so
too.
much. And those are the
Thank you.
memories that we take with us, and we always can think back on it and just be put right back in that feeling. So I'm super grateful for those two.
Aw.
Damn.
And that is what we're here for.
Mhm.
We were put on this earth to make people laugh. I remember, do you remember you saying that to me once?
Me?
Mm.
No. When did I say that?
See, you had said to me one time, not exactly that. You said, I don't know if people like me because I just make them laugh, or because I don't know who you were hanging around with. And you were like, I don't know if they're inviting me because I'm going to make everybody laugh, or because they're really truly my friend. And I'm like, I used to have the same problem as a kid because I used to have that same feeling, and not many people would understand that feeling.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's so funny.
I feel that we obviously you're just like I was. I just feel that we're here to make people laugh. That is our and they are our friends.
Yeah,
And yeah,
you
simultaneously.
are so loved.
You know,
Oh, I love that.
right?
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
And it's 10:10 my time.
Oh, girl. So this is a perfect place to say goodbye. Thank you guys for joining us. Literally, this has been so much fun.
I do think we have to put in little Nala because I'd like to say goodbye to her. Where is she?
God, well, you can definitely say goodbye to her off air because she's in my bedroom.
Oh,
Okay.
Don't worry, we won't hang up on you, Patty.
She was Nala was a perfect little guest today.
She was so
She was, and then she ditched us. She was like, "Y'all are too loud for me. I'm trying to."
Yeah. She's like, no, too much noise, too much good energy. Have enough of that every day with mommy.
Aw.
And your cat. Oh, sorry.
Look,
You're still on. What's your cat's name?
Boomy.
Aww.
the
Have you
cute.
seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, I have been trying to put everyone on to Avatar
Yeah. If you have Netflix,
Oh.
watch it, girl.
firsthand. That's all I talk about with my family. Even Ava. I'm gonna put Ava onto it because I feel like will.
That would be the best
Yeah.
benefit for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boring you over here.
Sorry, was that an indica?
No, I actually wait, no, it's actually a hybrid. I swear with the nightmares last night. I'm sorry.
I don't know, everyone's having them. Okay, so we are going to catch you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something from this. You know where to find us.
At Sammy Roos, Ruess, and you already know Instagram has an underscore.
You can follow our SoulSync account. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and our Ask Us account. It's at SoulSyncSB. And I'm on Instagram at Taylor Bavel. I'm private, so like if you try and follow me, I probably won't accept it because I'm like, who are you? I don't know. Delete.
So just follow our SoulSync account because everybody can follow that.
I thought about that the other day. I was like, so many random people try and follow me, and I'm like, who are you? I don't know you. And then I delete it, and I'm like, oh, I'm quite literally advertising it every single week on the podcast.
That is very true. Denying our friends. We're like, yeah, you can be our spiritual bestie. And Taylor's like, nope, I don't know you. Nope.
Who are you? So yeah, from now on, our SoulSync account, you know where to find us.
Woo!
So until next week.
All right. We love you.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.